Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in the channel Shard More. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe to the channel Shard More. Please remember to keep the comments decent and not offensive. And if you're not subscribed to the channel Shard More, hit that alarm bell to get notifications when this channel receives uploads. And we're talking about the war with Iran. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a long pain, especially for soldiers who are fighting in that war with Iran. Okay, I just have to say that you know how many I have to say you know how long wars can last, and this is just you know it's really this is gonna be like a long war that probably like last for years and years. You'll hear news sources talking about this all the time, and it's just it's kind of what happens when there's breaking news that actually comes up. It normally lasts for at least probably top stories that actually go on for years and years and years. And I know you would get sick and tired of actually just hearing the same thing all the time. But, when there's breaking news, for these news sources like News Nation and, all the other news sources, yeah, I know Fox News and Newsmax, they are about propaganda and misinformation. And they're all doing Newsmax and Fox News are selling misinformation and propaganda because, well, it's the one thing that gets those viewers very well, and it makes a company a lot of money with misinformation and propaganda. Alright, stuff that people don't even like hearing a lot. And it becomes, it can be a real big pain. Alright, you listen to misinformation and propaganda long enough, and you're gonna be saying that, no, this is all, untrue. It's all just made-believe stories and that stuff. And it's not the fact that, well, America is just, a bunch of terrorists. That's not the case. No, the real case is that Iran is being a real big threat to the whole entire world, especially Israel. And, something needs to be done about it. They can't have a nuclear weapon. Alright, Iran must be dealt with. That's the reality of it. Alright? So, I love to, I hate to burst your bubble, but for those news sources like Fox News and Newsmax that are giving you misinformation and propaganda, they're obviously just tickling their audience's ears, and they're saying exactly what you would want to hear, and not the facts about, what is really going on. Alright? And yeah, the top person who was real good at misinformation propaganda, former Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson, is very good at making conspiracy theories and making a lot of misinformation and propaganda. And his show, Tucker Carlson, that was, I think it was a show that absolutely would get people, fired up, especially when he went on a segment on what is a woman, and he defined woman in ways that obviously were probably very offensive, I'd have to say. And this was all because of, well, Fox News is making money off this stuff. Alright? They don't care about their audience's. All they care about is tickling their audience's ears, and they care about money. That's the only thing. So, yeah, I can see how upsetting it is to watch Fox News and Newsmax. I don't know about Fox and Friends. I don't know, Fox Business, I guess that might be okay. But, yes, really, it can be, quite overwhelming. So you gotta be careful of misinformation and propaganda. Alright, you obviously, it's the only thing that Fox News and Newsmax does. Alright. Here's the real reason why the Iran wars happen. Okay? Iran is looking to be a terrorist. Alright, they obviously have a lot of nuclear weapons, but they don't have more nuclear weapons than the United States does. So, if Iran were to nuke a country, then the United States could obviously just fire back at Iran, and they would obviously be destroyed by the United States. Alright, because let's say we're the largest military in the world, and nobody gets to mess around with the United States. So I would think twice before you start messing with the United States here. Because, I can tell you for real here, if you think that you can mess with the United States and get away with it, that's you're dead wrong. Alright, we don't have the biggest military in the whole entire world for, for no reason. Alright, we obviously have the strongest military in the world because, if somebody threatens the United States and that stuff, we would be able to take care of any terrorist group or any sort of, threat that would, come our way. So, I'm grateful to be having a very, very strong military that can actually just, be able to take care of any threat that comes our way. Alright. And I don't care if it's Russia or North Korea or Iran or China that absolutely would want to try to, nuke us. Alright, obviously, obviously, everybody knows. Everybody knows you can't mess with the United States. Especially if it's the military in the world. Yeah, I'd have to say, other countries that dare mess with the United States are going to be really quick. Okay? Because you obviously just can't, get away with messing with the United States. It's not even possible. Right? If you think that you're going to be able to mess with the United States, then you are dead wrong. Alright? And if the other countries want to learn the hard way, they obviously can. Alright? If they think that they can mess with the United States and win, they got another thing coming to them. They're going to learn the hard way. And maybe they'll think twice before invading us. Oh wait, not if you're dead. Not if you're dead. Yeah, from messing with the United States. Alright. I have to say, I get pretty well, this is going to get overwhelmed. I can almost guarantee you this. Alright? It is going to get overwhelmed. Alright? And it almost sounds like there's going to be, no ending. But we can't lose hope. Iran, the United States and Israel are going to do everything they can to make sure that Iran is completely destroyed of their nuclear weapons and can't be a threat to the entire world. And I think that Israel-Hamas war, I think this was the start of something that was going to become probably much bigger. Alright. So I probably didn't even say it at this time, but, it's Iran. They must have paid Hamas to attack Israel, and now Iran is finishing the job. Now that Hamas doesn't want to mess with Israel anymore, Iran is finishing the job. Okay? So, alright, I gotta say, I must say, it's really upsetting that we have this major war with Iran going on. This actually ends up being the start of World War III, because I happen to think that might be the case. Because if other countries have to get involved with attacking Iran, then you know what? This would actually this would actually start World War III, and it would actually get very, very ugly, and possibly now Iran's ally, I imagine, would be Russia and North Korea, if they get involved, that would mean it's gonna get very ugly. I would just think that would actually end up being the case. So, obviously, I just happen to think there's almost gonna be like no end to this. But if I were going to make a guess, I bet that the war between Iran, Israel, and the United States, I would say that by like 2030, maybe the war could become close to having an end. I would probably think so. Anything is well, anything is possible, not to say. But I just can't tell you when it's gonna happen. But somewhere in 2030, I probably would expect there to be. Hey, look, like I said, time is only going to tell us when this war between the United States and Israel and Iran is going to end. Like, only time is able to tell that. Alright, and somewhere in 2030, I estimate that maybe there'll be an end by that time. And it could be longer than that. I don't really know. I don't even have a magic crystal ball to look into that where I can actually just tell you exactly when it's going to end. I mean, obviously, I have no clue. But we're just going to have to see what time tells us and just go from there. So, with that said, nobody can give up hope on it. One day, the war will end. Okay? One day, we're all going to just, Bigger said, well, when Iran is destroyed every nuclear weapon that they have, then these countries will be able to like rest in peace and say that thank goodness Iran doesn't even have nuclear weapons that they can use to nuke us anymore. There isn't a country in the world that's allowed to be a terrorist. The other countries can get away with it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what we said here, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, Chad Morse. Again, please remember to keep your comments just non-offensive. And, well, I guess Iran will somehow have an end of just not having a nuclear weapon. They want to be a terrorist to Israel and the rest of the world. I guess they're going to figure out that, hey, you want to mess with one country and that stuff, you mess with the United States. And that is just, it's just a terrible, it's just a terrible mistake. It's just a terrible mistake. And yeah, good luck with messing with the United States. Because I can just guarantee you you're not going to have luck with that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what's here, please comment, like, subscribe to the channel, Charles Morse. Again, please remember to keep your comments just non-offensive. And, you know, Iran is eventually in the years after 2030, I would just say somewhere around there, Iran just won't have nuclear weapons where they can actually terrorize other countries and nuke other countries. And when you choose to mess with the United States, you can almost just bet yourself that we're going to come after your nuclear weapons and we're going to take them out. Because you know what? If you want to use nuclear weapons for nuking other countries and that stuff, the United States is going to be taking them out. And you'll be sorry. You'll be sorry that you picked a fight with another country and the United States. Have a good day. I will see you on my next video.